Hello! Greetings! Welcome to the kittycorn stream where the kittycorn does kittycorn things. What are the things of which I'm doing? Well, stick around and find out. Yeah. Hi everyone. How you doing? Hope you're all doing heckin' wonderful. Thunder, how you doing? How's the thunder today? I mean, like, aside from being, like, a massive sub, and bottom, and, like, a puppy, and, like, you know what, let's just trigger commands. There we go. Oh, yeah, Bish as well, yeah. Uh, get you in a maid dress, 100%. And if you want, you can go support Thunder. Hey! Alright, cool. Oh yeah, did I ever, like, do that one thing? Did I do that one thing? I need to check. Did I do that? Okay, I did. Alright. I had to check if I had, like, uploaded my VOD to YouTube for last stream. We're good. We're good. It's all good. It's all good. It's good. Bitch, yes, you are. I thought we established this, Thunder. I thought this was already established. Like, what the heck? I thought that was obvious. Like, what? Thunder, are you alright? Thunder's memory is going. I had to put him down. He's gonna start attacking people. It's gonna be like Old Yeller. Oh my god. Currently, he's all bark and no bite. But that's okay. I can provide the bite. Get got. Get got, Thunder. Ha 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 ha. Get hacked, you nerd. Oh. Ah, music to my ears. Thank you for spending 7,500 points on that. uh, Thunder thinks it's in protest, but actually it's like pleasing.
You're welcome.
Hi. Well, hello there.
Hello. I'll be
Everyone
here.
say hi to the stubby puppy monkey.
It is me.
And who is
Anyway,
me?
I what the I'm Thunder. I thought we already established this.
Yeah, but you didn't actually, like, say it. How
Yeah,
are they supposed
well,
to know?
I feel like, I don't fucking know.
Okay, first of all, you feel?
I know it's really weird.
That
Like, I
is
feel
weird.
this fabric on my skin. It's really fucking odd, actually.
That's not how the song goes. The song is feel the rain on your skin, not the fabric. Jeez.
It's not raining in my apartment. What the fuck?
I can arrange that.
I don't want to know.
It's fine. It's just a summon. It'll just, get into your pipes. It's fine.
I I don't want to know.
Too late. If you hear any like thumping in the walls, don't worry. It's just justice being served.
Oh, I think that's just my neighbors being loud.
Or that, yeah, that's true. That is another possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Possibility.
I'll be here for like the half an hour until I inevitably get tired and go to bed.
I mean, you're gonna get tired regardless.
Yes, but usually it's on like half an hour.
Yeah, but like,
Although that's
suffer.
yeah, but like, bitch.
Yes, you are. What's your point?
What do you mean? What's my point?
You're a
I feel
bish.
like I feel like it's quite clear.
Hmm. You know what else is quite clear? Water.
Glass. Oh, that too.
Really? You went
That
for
too.
glass first? Wow, you're so
Yeah,
materialistic. What the heck?
you say that like water isn't the material.
Water is free. Glass is not.
Not with that attitude.
Wow.
There's
See
there's
how it
like a
is?
there's like a whole container outside which is just filled with glass. You can take it. It's free. The government doesn't want you to know this, but like I have gotten plenty of glass from there.
Did you know you could actually like melt glass in like ceramic in a microwave? It works
I
like a
am not
little kiln.
surprised. I
Yeah, it's
am not
possible.
surprised at all.
Yeah. I watched it on YouTube. This guy, he had like this tiny little kiln, basically.
Hmm.
And he just like took the rotating part out of the microwave, right?
Hmm.
And he set the kiln in there and put like a little bead in there and melted it. Something like
Nice,
that.
nice.
Yeah. Made like different glass.
So
It's weird.
yeah, but yeah, no. My point is, glass can be free if you just don't care enough.
I mean, healthcare and food could also be free if they did care about it. All right, 5 minutes in, and oh well, 11 minutes in, and now we're on politics.
You did this to yourself.
I mean, yeah, but like, if I don't, who will? Right? In a way,
I'm
it kind of
messing
makes
with one
sense,
strand
right?
of hair.
What's this about hair?
I'm messing around with one strand of hair.
And pluck.
No, it's already been plucked.
Oh,
I've made it curly.
what about Larry and Moe?
That reference flew over my head. I'm sorry.
The Three Stooges. Larry, Curly,
Those
and
have
Moe.
names?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what their names were. Larry, Curly, and Moe.
So here's the thing. You just assumed I watched the movie, but you should know when it comes to
Forgot there was a
movies.
movie. It
Oh.
was like
Why
a
the
TV series. I think it
well,
was in
then it's
black and white.
even worse. Why the fuck would you think I'd know that?
Because you tend to know a good bit of media?
Not TV or movies.
I bet Lucy would have got it.
Oh, for sure.
Cause she watches all the old stuff. She was
Yes.
raised on Star Trek.
Yes.
The OG Star Trek.
I have been called a culture barbarian by your family for not having watched movies growing up.
But fair enough.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, Lucy barely knows any fucking songs, so who's the real barbarian here?
Well, there's different kinds of cultures.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're a culture barbarian when it comes to films. She's a culture barbarian when it comes to songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everyone has their area of expertise.
I'm glad we agree on something. It's quite
My
rare
area of
whenever we do.
expertise is being a fucking idiot. Hey, what's up? Mr. Jiggle,
Eh,
howdy howdy, how you doing?
Oh, hi there. Hello.
Oh, hi there. Fancy meeting you here.
Come around these parts often.
I'm losing my mind in Stalker Gamma. I'm assuming
Uh,
that's the name of a game.
yes. Imagine like post-apocalypse Russia or post-nuclear war Russia, if I recall correctly.
Alright, so Russia in 5 years, got it.
Something like that.
Keep dying to anomalies and dog packs? Oh, fair. Have you tried just like not dying? Have you tried getting good?
Another way to look at it is like offline
Well,
Tarkov.
wow, elevator doors, how dare. How dare.
I should start messing around in Tarkov again. Do I have to
Oh wait,
install that game?
is in that game, is it like, are they like robot dogs and like
I don't think they're
roaming
more like,
robots?
pretty sure they're mutated
Okay,
from
I'm thinking of a different
radiation.
game then. Okay,
Mutants, yeah.
because I remember Gearhead playing a game that was like it had that sort of mechanic like Tarkov, but like there were roaming robots that you had to like hide from, and like you had to just like live. I guess I don't remember what it's
Hmm.
called. I
It
did not
doesn't really ring a
describe that
bell with
well.
me either.
Meow. Mutants. Which sounds cooler, mutants or mutants?
Mutants.
That's fine. You're allowed to be wrong.
Mutants sound like pretentious, like the French.
I mean, that's kind of the point.
To sound pretentious, pretentious isn't cool, you know.
That's what you think.
No, it's more than just me.
Look, sometimes I just like to pronounce things differently, just
Mm-hmm.
for fun.
That is fair. I do the
Yeah,
same thing. I on more than one occasion have
yeah,
brutalized the English language.
yeah.
Language,
Like
language.
occasionally, I'll instead of saying possible, I'll be like possible.
If you want to watch like a Dutch person mutilate the English language, the trainer, or I think it's trainer, the leader of our football team, like Louis van Gaal.
Mhm.
Holy fuck! He just his English is quite something.
Uh-huh. Fair
Like,
enough.
uh, it's how do I describe this?
With words, probably.
Give me, oh
Give you what?
god, this isn't a
Give you
YouTube
God?
video. This is not a
What?
YouTube video. You
What?
lied to me.
Well, Thunder is lost to the internet.
This
By the way, Doors, how you doing? Elevator Doors, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Sorry for the late response, like 3 minutes late, but you know, it happens, it's fine. You have a cold? Bruh, is it like just a cold, or is it like the flu, COVID, what? What you got? I hope it's just a cold. Either way, it sucks that you have a cold, my dude. Make sure you get plenty of rest. Don't forget to eat. Like, have some nice hot food, like some chicken noodle soup or something. That's usually the go-to thing in like America. Whenever you have a cold, they make you chicken noodle soup. Uh,
chicken noodle soup is good
but
though.
for Japan, whenever you have a cold, when you're sick, you know, they make you a rice porridge. Well, that's
That's
just
also
fair enough.
good.
Oh my goodness, is that a Leshen I see?
It
Holy
is.
crap.
That's why
Is
I had to do a
that the
command.
one and only Leshen underscore Skog? Oh no! My finger slipped. Oh. Oh. Oh, we both did it.
I we did.
How you doing today, Leshen? Are you enjoying your long awaited days off? Hope you're
One of the
having
rare
a
ones.
lovely day. You probably just woke up recently.
Waking up? Who does
Would you
that?
stop slipping your fingers? I can't help
No,
it. My
listen,
my my fingers are just so slippery. You know, it just happens. It just happens. You know what? I don't see the problem. Do you see the problem, Thunder?
there's a problem.
Exactly. See, Thunder doesn't see a problem, and Thunder's a bitch.
What?
What? I didn't. I didn't say anything. I did. I'm actually heading into work now. What the fuck? You said you
What?
had 3 days off in a row. Oh, you meant Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Today is Thursday.
Oh,
Oh.
he Regan. Oh no.
Well, I did have your stream up last night, but I was playing another game and
How
listening
dare
to a
you?
podcast. So I had it up so I could support you at least. So I could lurk and collect points to bully you. What?
What?
Huh? I didn't
Huh?
say anything. Well, good luck at work, Leshen. Uh, I hope you have a wonderful day. Yeah. What I will say though is, where? Ah, right there. Okay. I would like to. There's a new Tom Cardy song, and
Oh
I
no.
have not watched it yet or listened to it yet. So let's. I think we should watch that. Let's see how it is.
I will suffer. Let's go.
The Ballad of Smokin' Joe Rude Boy. Oh, y'all ready for some music?
Long, what the fuck?
I have no idea how this will go. This will go. It's an Australian wearing a cowboy hat. I don't know what to expect. Oh shit. It's
A
probably gonna
ballad,
be
hopefully.
wonderful. Cause Tom Cardy, fucking beautiful. I love this man. Alright, here we go. Oh,
no.
shit! Yo!
Yeah.
That was fucking.
That was one hell of a story.
That was beautiful. Oh shit, Tom Cardy, I love you. Oh man, that was so good. That was so good. Holy shit. That was so good. Fuck. Oh man. I loved that. I loved that. Thunder, what did you think?
It's pretty heckin' good.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What? Glitches in the Matrix. Whoa.
Glitches in the Matrix are strange visual anomalies that can make you feel a little confused. Some even believe glitches in reality are evidence that this is all a simulation. So let's look at some fun glitches in the Matrix, like this poorly aligned zebra, or this apple without smoothing, a grandma for every seat, and a cat for every bench, or these trees that forgot to fully appear. The same thing with these clouds. Or how about this terribly unsettling natural occurrence? Sometimes you see things that make you question everything.
What?
I mean, what are the odds?
Not just once,
when it's
but
raining
twice.
and pouring, but it's only on you.
Oh, isn't that so fucking
Then
weird?
imagine if your umbrella decided to walk away.
What the fuck?
Or if one day the orange juice forgot to load in. Sure, we all watch TV, but how often does TV watch you? Or how about this island that's in a lake, in a volcano that's in a lake, that's in an island, in the ocean? Glitches in the Matrix are strange visual anomalies.
Oh.
Thank you, YouTube. Very cool.
Oh. Bruh. Thunder.
Yes.
Meow.
I see.
Yeah, you better see. Unless you like butter. See. I don't. Yeah,
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
You wanna elaborate on that one?
No, I'm good.
Alright, that's good.
Oh, this is being marked as watched, even though I watched like a few seconds of it. Alright, let's go to...
I cook the spiciest meal ever. Whoever
stuff.
on my crew eats the most will walk away with an unlimited budget towards the computer of their dreams. This is
Computer
Vikram,
of their
Ulysses, Kendrick,
dreams.
Kevin, Pano, and Evan. What are you gonna do, Ulysses, if you win a PC?
Technically, I don't know what a PC is.
I would play Boku no Yasumi.
Got it? Baki Mami.
I'm gonna buy Skyrim again.
This could be a supercomputer, and you're like, I'm gonna play Skyrim.
I'll maybe start winning games and get out of the bronze rank
That's
once
a
and for
mushroom.
all.
I don't play video games. I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna give it to my wife.
I'm coding 10,000 bots on Twitter to tweet at Hezbollah, so we finally
Hero
will
Luffy,
recognize
howdy, how you doing?
Oh. The crew seemed ready, but it was time to begin my prep. To create
I
the
hope
spiciest
you
meal in the
have
world,
an amazing
you need
rest
the
of your
spiciest
stream
peppers
and day.
in the world.
Make
We're at
sure to
hottest
nom the
pepper farm
thunder.
we can find in the state
Alright,
of Texas.
see
with
you later,
pepper
Leshin.
expert Jeffrey Baker.
Stay awesome, my dude.
He showed us all the levels of spicy.
70 varieties, culinary inspired, just for hot sauces.
The goal here, we have 4 courses. How do I maximize the spiciness?
Oh.
The heat's gonna come. You probably should start by trying a couple of those, seeing what you want to build up to.
What is the hottest pepper that you think you have?
The T-Rex Dragon's Breath.
What the heck?
This gnarly bastard is Scoville charted at 2.4 million.
Carolina Reapers are like the ones that people are always like, oh.
For normal mortals, they're that.
It's a big piece.
Well, I'll eat half of it, Nancy.
It's time for me to try some of these myself. Couldn't be that bad, right?
I think it's the hottest one on the planet. Vibrancy, a little citrus notes, great for your first course.
You guys are This is Kevin's at the end of this. So Jeffrey got us a bag of his spiciest peppers, and then it was time to get slanging.
I feel like
We're starting off with a fried
I feel like they
cauliflower
made a
pesto
mistake
sauce.
because he was handling those with his bare hands.
Oh yeah.
Oof. Oof.
Oh yeah.
For those that don't normally like handle peppers,
Don't rub your eyes.
yeah, even if it's like a whole pepper, like, don't. Not even jalapenos. Well, jalapenos are still fine. They're thick. They have like a waxy surface. Those ones are fine to handle bare hands. But if you ever cut it, don't cut into those peppers bare hands, okay? Make sure that you have like gloves on. Or at the very least, afterwards, wash your hands thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, you still might not get the pepper juice off, and you will regret it. You will regret it. Mark my words, because I know from experience. All right, there has been multiple times where I did not wash my hands good enough, and I go to rub my eye, and I'm basically blind for a few minutes. Yeah,
That sounds about right.
yeah. But any pepper that's hotter than a jalapeno, always handle it like with gloves, okay? Don't pick that shit up barehanded. That is the mistake. You don't want to do that. Even the outside of those peppers have shit on them. And they will fuck you up. When you're holding that hot of peppers, wear 2 or 3 pairs at the same time. Yeah. Either 2 or 3 pairs of gloves or, like, very, very thick gloves. Like, gloves so thick that it's like, you don't know if you're actually touching the peppers. Found out the hard way when you were 6? Yikes. Big oof.
Not spicy. Love it. Blender, roasted red pepper, garlic, toasted almonds, tomato paste, smoked paprika, a little cayenne. You know, gotta get a little.
Picked up a jalapeno and proceeded to rub my eyes. Yeah, that'll do it.
A little water to loosen. Blend. While it's blending, olive oil to emulsify. Look at that, Vic. Come on, forget about it. Touch more vinegar. All right, romesco is done. Now we're gonna fry some cauliflower. Break it into florets or whatever you want.
I am not a fan of cauliflower.
Drain into a bowl. A little bit of finishing salt. Lemon juice. Toss. Sauce in the center.
It's not good.
And your
It's just alright.
Salt and lemon zest. Course 1 complete. Course 2, we're turning up the heat. This is budae jjigae. It's Korean army stew, and it's really good. Order a pestle. I got 20 bird's eye chili.
Yeah.
Go with 9. Take off their stems. No, we should do 10. This needs to knock some people out. Now I'm just gonna break them down a little bit. What, are you gonna grind whole chilies? Come on. Work harder, not smarter. Wait, no. Into your mortar and pestle. Garlic, break that down. We'll start with these. A little bit of salt to help break that down. Garlic and more salt. Break that down, break that down. Woo! Pepper paste done. Got our pot. The chili paste goes in here. We bit of gochugaru, gochujang, shuggy woogie, mirin, soy sauce, mix. Slice tofu, slice shiitake mushrooms.
Yo, what up,
slice.
Celadon? How you doing?
Gnocchis. Cut the base
Kill
off. My little children. I'm gonna cook them up and eat them. Kimchi, just rough chop. Now we're gonna assemble this all in the pot. Mushi womb, gnocchis, kimchi, spam.
Never say that again.
A little garden of flavor. Right in the middle. Add our
Ooh,
sauce,
will.
all of it. Beef stock, heat on. Boil 7 minutes. After 7 minutes, we're gonna raise
Whoa.
that up. Instant ramen noodles, a little bit of rice cake. And hear me out, American cheese. 2 slices. And finally, some nice green onion. We're gonna boil that uncovered for 4 minutes. Once the noodles are soft, it is done. Course 3, 7-pot gochujang chicken.
Whoa.
7 pots?
7 pots of stew from one of these peppers.
Chicken drumsticks.
Oh, like that.
Wings, salt, a little bit of sugar, fresh grated ginger, toss, little massage.
I was gonna say, how the fuck are you gonna use 7 pots to
Chicken's
make
done. I wasn't
fried
gonna do this with
chicken?
ghost peppers. We don't have any. That was my bad when I was thinking. But we do have 7-pot chilies, which are very similar. They're about 1 million, 1.25 Scoville. Garlic, toasted sesame oil,
vacationing
wheat,
in
honey.
Cali,
Now we
seeing
need to add
family.
extra
Nice,
chili to
nice.
combat this.
Ooh,
You add
fun,
sweetness,
fun.
you add vinegar, that cuts down the heat. A little bit of ketchup. What? Ketchup? Yes. Gochujang and soy sauce.
I'm
I
always
don't know how many 7 pots
skeptical
have. Maybe we
when
should
they
like
add
3?
sweetness
Well, I just
to
smell
the
it, I'll
spice.
take it. Vikram, what do you think? Ooh, I don't know. 1, 2. Kendrick wants me to. All right,
no.
Kendrick. I'm only doing what
Oh,
Kendrick
no.
has. 21 pots. I'm good.
Yeah, you know it's spicy when you're coughing.
Get that out of your blender. Sauce is done. Now we bread, flour, cornstarch, and you whisk. A wee bit of salt to that. This one's for Uncle Roger. A little bit of MSG, all right? Whisk.
Hey.
We got our breading set up. Start with the wings. They go in. Flour in there.
Wings.
Once they're coated, place to the side. I hate the feeling of cornstarch. It's like all squeaky. Ah. We're sitting at 320 Fahrenheit. Par fry, 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, we're par cooked. You pull these out, drain them. They're going back in. Drop your next batch. Pull those out. And then just increase it to 375 Fahrenheit. Now we're going hotter to make it crispier. I mean, literally just refry your chicken. Woo! Once those are golden brown like that, good lord. Dump them into a bowl. Got roughly half our chicken. Gonna add in half your sauce. Toss. That just looks spicy. Here you smell this?
Hell
That is
yeah.
your 7-pot gochujang wings.
Curry from hell? Oh
Hottest
no.
peppers on planet Earth, dragon's breath,
It's the hottest one on the planet.
and chocolate maruga scorpion. Chuck roast. You're gonna cut it to nice 1-inch pieces. Small tray, beefin'. First we make our curry paste, cashmere chili powder, cumin seeds, all of which are toasted, coriander seeds, fenugreek, cloves. Recipe is on the website. Consume at your own risk. Cardamom, cinnamon, shuggy woogie. Yeah, it's loud, but that's okay. A little bit of black pepper. You know, I just realized I have to taste this.
Oh no.
We're using all of the dragon's breath chili that he would allow us to have. Stem
Oh
off.
no.
Oh boy. Now for the maruga. 1, 2. Yeah, we'll pause there. Garlic, a lot. I want it to taste good. Ginger, distilled vinegar.
I feel like he should be putting goggles on, because holy shit.
Why am I so scared?
He's gonna pepper spray
It's
himself.
fine.
It's really actually, it's not that bad. The vinegar tones it down a lot. Should I put another chocolate maruga in there? That should do. Oh boy. Maybe they need the chocolate scorpion or whatever it is. That's up. It genuinely feels like someone's pushing needles through my tongue. So anyway, marinate your
Nice.
beef. Oh, come on now. We gotta get
Oh, he got it all over.
I don't know if this is
Oh,
one
no.
blending or let this marinate. Now we make our curry sauce. 1 white onion, very finely. Chop that. Can you hear the breath of the dragon? I mean the breath of the. Wow, my tongue's up. You guys are. I would not eat that. Simply, I would not. Grated ginger, garlic, finely chopped. Got a little braising pan. Gonna add some ghee or clarified butter. Keep it on medium. Veg in. Salt to taste. See, Vikram, doesn't that smell nice and not menacing? By starting to soften, adding our tomato paste. Once those soften, beef stock.
Ooh, once he adds that the spice,
Once it's done,
he's
yes, this
gonna-
still has debris in it.
he's
In your
gonna
blender,
get
we're just gonna blend
pepper
until
sprayed.
smooth. Back into the pan, the rest of your beef stock, and then marinated beef from the underworld. Last but not least, get it? Curry leaves. I still feel like it's not gonna be spicy.
I see what he did there.
Oh boy, it went to the back of my throat.
Oh no.
Once this comes up to a simmer, lid on and into a preheated oven. 375, thank you. After 2 hours, you pull it out.
2
This is
hours?
gonna be very spicy. Or maybe not. It did
Oh, that's
reduce
been
quite a bit.
simmering.
Look, this is the final course. It needs to be spicier. We're bringing out the big guns. This is pure capsaicin extract. 9 million Scoville. All right.
Oh,
Look
no.
at it. It's like blood red. I feel like we're doing a bad thing.
Yes, it's a very bad thing.
Oh no.
Okay. I can't breathe. That is a lot. That's it. That's our final course. Curry from hell. Oh my God. Good
Oh,
luck. On to the
no.
challenge. Now that I had completed all 4 courses, it was time to round up the crew. And to do so, I had the help of my handy newly available apron with deep pockets and a crossbody strap that helps alleviate that nagging neck pain. And those straps happen to be removable.
Bruh.
Available now. Links in the description. Duck your head,
What the
sir.
fuck?
All right, and get on in there. All right, good job. All righty. Okay, bye. Wait, Kyla, why are you here? This is a fun thing Vikram and I are doing.
I'm Vikram's wife.
Damn, all right.
I get ice cream after this, right?
Yeah. Here are the rules. Each dish gets spicier than the next. You must complete the dish.
Had
in order
one
to move to the
curry
next
like
round.
that
If
in
you break, you drink
Sacramento?
milk, or you throw
Oh.
up, you're disqualified.
Fair.
Last man standing wins. Let's
Got a
do this.
refund since I was a child? Oof.
Gaga.
No, I'm good.
That is good.
Doesn't look spicy.
You judge things by a cover?
I do.
Well, that's phenomenal. What's in there? That's really good.
These nuts.
D's nut steak's phenomenal.
It's cold, by the way.
Nice.
That it is. Love cauliflower.
I've never had cauliflower before. It's the first time.
What the f?
Date night food. Check the recipe later.
Got a little tang to it, a little punch.
Ulysses, did you know that cauliflower comes from the
I like
lemon
spicy
family?
foods,
Why
but it
not?
made me
Does.
gag. Oh
Great.
no.
Oh, this was a competition. Yeah, this is no problem.
Sometimes when I drink Dr. Pepper, I'm more taken aback, so
What?
All right,
Really?
Well, I need another.
it's nothing I can't handle.
If there's only 4 rounds and this is the first one, I'm a quarter of the way through and I feel like this is a walk in the park.
Course 2.
Thank you.
Yummy, yummy in my tummy.
No one told me we were doing this today at work.
It literally looks like a kid's. Jesus.
I don't know what this is. Not at all.
This is very good.
This is delicious.
Could I have some more, please? It's not super intense, it's bearable.
But it's almost like I like the burn. 4.5 to 5 out of 10.
5.5 out of 10. It's about a 4
Damn.
on the spice level. Out of 12.
It's a good too.
I would say a 2.
What?
I'm very much enjoying it.
I'm gonna say it, Josh. It might be too easy for me.
Let's
Go.
pray to
What
God
was
you
the
don't make
second
me
one
sudden
again?
death.
I'm gonna go eat more.
I got this.
Thank you.
Oh, that was Boudet.
You'll notice that on
Oh,
this
yeah.
course, our medic decided to enter the room.
Thank you.
So this is actually the most sauced one that I found.
No one told me we were having chicken. I just got really excited.
How do you feel? Not good. This is.
Oh, suddenly his heart has changed. What?
I feel great. I feel
right.
better than I've ever
That's
felt.
right. The one thing I will say is when you're eating these, do not swallow right away. You know, try and just, it's better if your tongue is hot. He's trucking this. You can finish, I mean, that's fine. That's allowed. That's a legal move. It'll be a illegal move when it comes out though.
Sit in it for a minute.
What are you feeling right now? What are you thinking?
Oh, I feel it now. Woo!
I feel it in my brain. Oh, it's like coating my tongue.
I feel good. Not as great as I was feeling earlier. It increases over time.
Started at 6, now it's at a 7.
It's still getting hotter in my mouth right now.
This is gonna come out the
Nice.
other end hurting.
I think it's settling at a 6.
It's getting up to like an 8, 8.5.
Oh boy.
Oh, she
But
has
it's
a
hitting
much
me
higher
different ways every
tolerance.
second.
Where's that kind of 4?
No, absolutely no way.
What can I say? I'm a winner. Winners win. I did get very hot. Now I gotta take my sweater off.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Is there more?
I'm taking a beating a little bit, but I'm feeling good. I think I can make it. This is getting interesting, I will say that.
This is the 9. I'm waiting for that spice that they're talking about.
It burns like a sweater.
Wow.
That Kevin guy, he's a wuss. He's going down.
I will not tap out. I will not tap out. Thank you.
The one that
I
made me
finished this,
chug
and
a
I'm gonna
pint
take
of
that
beer
as a
was
dub.
ghost pepper mango barbecue wings.
Milk time.
Oh.
I'm not
There
a
we
big
go.
fan
I'll
of
move on to the next round.
What?
mango
Bring me on to
or
round
hot
4.
sauce. I've had habanero mango and
Bet
not
this
a
cake
not a
pop would
huge
really
fan.
Make you feel good right now.
I gotta get this chicken out of my braces. It's stuck in there and it's burning the out of my mouth.
I wish we had cilantro because this looks like a turd. This is the final round.
I can smell it from here.
Jesus.
Oh no.
1 sec.
I appreciate our medics stepping like a few steps closer for this one.
For throw up.
I feel it.
Talk about a mounting burn.
It's starting to sweat.
My God.
Oh no.
This is so good.
Oh
Chill
no.
out, bro.
Wow.
My braces
Oh.
burn. My mouth is on fire.
One person out.
Are you gonna finish this?
I was thinking about the car ride home.
My mouth isn't so bad, it's my head.
Kevin, how are you feeling right now? Great.
Evan is a psychopath. I don't know why Evan is doing.
Give me a second. I'm vibrating. Kevin, if you make it
no.
to the second round, I make it to the next round.
One more bite.
Nah, man, I'm never making it to 2 plates. Oh boy.
All right, Pano.
What the heck?
Another sip for me.
We took an L. Hasbro, I hope you see this. This one was for you.
Ulysses,
Evan
this
okay?
food is starting to hit me. I can still eat more. Bring it on, Kyla.
I am pretending to find it hot.
This is sudden death. The hottest peppers on earth. Whoever eats the most wins.
He really doesn't want us to go to the hospital.
$500 to tap out.
But I really want that computer. Gotta play Skyrim again.
Cheers.
You don't have to do this. Oh my God. Oh. Kyla,
If you don't chew, you can't taste it.
I'm scared.
I got 2.
1,000 to tap out. 15 seconds to tap out for 1,000 and then the 1,000's gone.
I'm gonna take the 1,000.
Oh my goodness.
Evan, what the fuck? You okay, bro?
$1,000.
Evan,
What a
congratulations.
Chad,
Let's
holy
go get
shit.
a supercomputer. I decided to be nice and add on an apron. Don't forget the links in the description. We just released this. How do you feel?
I don't feel good.
Good, because you have 10 minutes to build the PC of your dreams. Let's go.
Oh,
I
he's
have
gonna
no-
feel
absolutely
even
nothing
worse in a
about
few
computers.
hours.
I have 10 minutes
Holy
to
shit.
build the perfect gaming computer.
Do you know what you're looking for?
No.
There you go. The word. Motherboard, $699 or $1,000.
Let's go. Can I get that one?
One of the 3080s.
More expensive.
This is unfair.
Want an ultra wide?
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Everything in 10 minutes. That's not bad. $7,000 in 10 minutes. That's up top. That's up top.
Fuck.
Good work, Evan. You deserved it. Maybe you should set this up in front of a toilet, all right?
An ultra wide.
All that for Skyrim.
I feel like it's not worth it.
Oh, probably was.
Thanks
He
to
basically made like $7,000 in like
Apple
a day.
pie is awesome.
An afternoon.
But making it at home from
Yee.
scratch kind of sucks.
Sounds
it's
very
hard,
worth it.
It's fussy, and very rarely is the final result worth all that hard work. So today, I'm going to show you how to make a much more approachable variation called a galette.
Good spicy food for a gaming PC?
Yeah.
I mean, I just eat good spicy food
but
in
it's
general.
Easier, a lot more forgiving.
Exactly. So why would it not be
better
worth
than
it?
apple pie. To get started, I'll grab my food processor, and into the jar of that, measure 200 grams of all-purpose flour, 20 grams of sugar,
I don't have the room
and
for all
3
that
grams
shit.
of salt. Now the lid goes on, and I'll spin this up until everything is well combined. And
You don't
there we
need
go.
the
Next,
monitor.
I'm going to add in 150 grams of very cold cubed butter, but not just any butter. This is a
What if-
high-fat,
but what if I
grass-fed
want
butter
a
from
lizard?
Ireland called Kerrygold, and it has an exceptional grassy, buttery flavor. But
Get it?
regular butter would work totally
A monitor?
Well,
Quick
that's
note
something
is that
Monitor
you
this
lizard?
high-fat butter
No?
has less water in it than regular, and because of that,
Oh,
it gets softer at
Kerrygold,
room
that's the type of
temperature
butter
much
we use.
faster. So to make sure this butter is firm enough to cut cleanly into the flour, it needs 10 minutes in the freezer to get firmed up. So now the lid goes on, and I'll pulse this
Kerrygold
food
is the good
processor
stuff.
25 to 35 times until the butter is chopped into small pieces that are roughly the size of a grain of rice. Don't over pulse your butter here because that would make a homogeneous pie crust that would be a lot less
Kerrygold or Amish
flaky.
rolled butter?
Once we've got a
Yeah.
nice coarse butter gravel going on like this, I'm going to grab a scale and measure 65 grams of ice cold water into a container.
I don't like the word
Next, I'll
butter
start combining this
gravel.
by pulsing the food processor every second or so while I stream in the water pretty quickly. Try to get it all in there within 12 to 15 pulses. Too much pulsing, and again, we go homogeneous here and lose most of the flakiness, and too little, it's going
Pulse
to be
your
coarse
face.
and not really mixed together.
Got
The key here is to get everything combined while also leaving little droplets of cold, hard butter spread evenly throughout. And that looks good.
Whoa.
It's still sandy and loose, but wet enough to hold itself together. A good test is to squeeze a little bit in your hand like this. It should come together into something that's dough-like, but still pretty crumbly. Next, I'll lay out a big sheet of plastic wrap and then dump in my sandy, buttery dough. From there, I'll come back and give it a squeeze to get things more cohesive and slightly more round and flat. Then I'll close up that pile of dough within the plastic wrap and then round it and flatten it into a shape of something that resembles a large hockey puck, about 6 inches across.
Whoa.
Now, I need to move this over to the fridge for about an hour to both hydrate the flour and get the butter back to 100%
Hydrate
cold.
before you
Check out
dehydrate,
the dough.
folks.
As you can see, the butter flecks are spread evenly throughout, and that's exactly what we want.
Oh.
1 hour later, I'll pull my dough out of the fridge so that I can soften it slightly at room temp for easier rollout, and while I'm over here, I'll also preheat my oven to 375F. While that preheats and this dough softens, I'll make the apple filling. For that, I've got 2 medium-large Honey Crisp apples here. Not only are Honeys the most superb eating apple by far, but they've also got what I think is the perfect balance of acidity and sweetness for pastry. I'll just peel the sides down real quick, and there we go. Pretty apple. Next, I'll cut the sides off this thing, leaving behind the seeds and the core. And from there, I'll slice this somewhere between 1/8 and 1/4 inch thick. We want some girth to the apple slice so they're not mushy when they get cooked, but obviously
Isn't
if
that
they're
a great
too
word?
thick, they're going to be overly crunchy, and that would also bum me out. In total, we
I
need about
shall
300 grams
refrain
of
from
sliced
answering
Honey
that.
Crisp apples. Once they're cut, I'll add in 50 grams of white sugar, white over brown, because I want the apple flavor to shine more than anything, and brown makes things taste a little bit muddy. Then 15 grams of cornstarch to thicken things up. There we go. Then 2 grams of salt, 2 to 3 grams of cinnamon, and optionally some nutmeg. I'll grate about 1 gram's worth on my microplane to enhance the warm spice of the cinnamon. I don't want to go too heavy with nutmeg though, because that would step on the flavor of the apple. Lastly, I'll add in a few drips of lemon juice, only like 5 grams worth. Okay, next I'll jump in to get things combined, and I'll mention don't go too rough on these because they'll macerate and get overly weepy, and obviously I'd prefer to keep all of the apple juice inside of the apple. Once these are all tossed up to combine, I'm going to move them out of the way to hang out for 5 to 10 minutes while I roll out the crust for this galette. But first, let's thank Beam for sponsoring this video. Like most people, everybody's grid interview with the upper snuff off product enough to be pliable, but it's also still cold and quite firm. To roll it out, I'll hit both sides liberally with flour to keep it from sticking to the board as the butter softens. Then I'll flour my rolling pin and gently lay it down at the halfway mark. From there, I'll push forward with some firm pressure, then go back to the middle and push backward with the same firm press. The move here is to flatten this hockey puck into a sheet, but we need to do that a very little bit at a time to prevent too much cracking and butter smearing. After a 90-degree turn here, I'll repeat that forward press and then a backward one. And if the dough starts to crack around the edges, no big deal. It definitely will. Just use your fingers to press things back together and zhuzh it in the direction you want it to head. In total, it should take 7 to 8 rounds of rolling and turning to get this relatively flattened. And once it's most of the way there, we can switch over to a general rolling move to spread it out into an even flat circle that's about 12 inches wide. Next, I'll use my bench
Good
scraper,
12
or
inches,
something
nice.
like it, to loosen this galette dough so that it's not stuck to my board. Then, just as if this was a pizza dough, I'm going to flip it onto my right arm and then grab a 12 by 8 wide piece of parchment paper and then carefully lay the dough into the middle of that. It should just barely be hanging off the 12-inch side. Next, I'm going to grab my rolling pin one more time and then roll this about a ½ inch to an inch more in each direction. And I'll also mention that at this point, I'm using very little downward pressure so that I don't crack the crust or smear the butter. Too much downward force and we would flatten all those flecks of butter that we worked so hard to get earlier. And there we go. It's roughly 13 to 14 inches across now, so let's get to work with the apples. The first move is to lay these apples out in a ring around the outside about 2 to 3 inches from the edge of the pastry. By the way, the following semi-meticulous apple procedure can be totally skipped in lieu of just piling things up in the middle. The results will be a little bit more rustico, but taste exactly the same. Once we've got a nice ring of apples laid around the outside here, I'll come back and shingle some additional apples going perpendicular to the original ring. I'm stacking these in the same direction.
Who
with the
needs
middle part facing
presentation?
out. That way we get a pretty fan spiral situation going on. This step is actually pretty therapeutic too. Feels kind of like putting together a puzzle on a rainy day.
Isn't that why you have presentations?
Once the outer ring is
And
shingled and arranged tightly like this,
eventually you have a
flat
presentation.
in the middle to prop up the inner
I
ring.
do.
And I'll repeat the same shingling process as before. And once I've got 2 rows of
It'll
tiny
be
apples
great.
like this, I'll lay a 3 to 4.
I mean, you're already
rosette
great,
right in
so
the middle to cover up any space that might be left over. And there we go, a
You're a
beautiful
great nerd.
spiral of cinnamon sugar apples. Now to finish this thing, I'm gonna grab a flap of the rolled crust and fold it over the first row of apples. I'll repeat that, making a little pleat every 3 to 4
I'm just already
inches.
yawning.
Then I'll move over, do it again, and a little pressure to seal the
You
fold
say
each
already,
time.
it's
there should be no
been
space
later than
between the
usual.
outer ring of apples and the
Yeah,
folded dough.
well,
That's going to create
you're a
a
sub,
really
so.
nice pocket of
What the
moist
fuck?
apples under the crust that are on, and it might possibly be the best
What?
part of the entire thing. Once we're all closed up,
What
I'll come
is it,
back and
Thunder?
zhuzh this a bit to make sure it's
What
pretty
do
and
you-
looking circular. Looking good
What?
so far, and then to get this ready to bake, I'll brush it with
SMH.
some egg wash. Oop!
I'll ask some your age.
By the
What
way,
does
this
that
egg
even
wash is
mean?
just 1 egg and a little splash of water, stirred with
Nerd.
a fork until it's not lumpy. Once I've got a generous
Stinky
dose
nerd.
wiped all around the edges here, I'm going to cover that wash with a bunch of crunchy demerara sugar, or sugar in the raw. This is going to bring a ton of texture to the crust and really play off of the crust's flakiness. Plus, it kind of caramelizes lightly when it gets baked and brings some additional depth of flavor. Next, I'll drizzle in 3 to 4 tablespoons of the
nom, nom.
cinnamony cornstarch slurry that was left behind from the apples, because I really want to make sure that these apples get set in a nice gel once they're cooled, and to do that I need cornstarch. Next, a few strong pinches of flaky Malden salt, because salty sweet is better than sweet sweet. Then I'll add 3 to 4 thin pads of butter right on top for some extra richness. Once this is all tidied up into a beautiful little package like this, I'm going to lift this parchment paper and drop it onto a sheet pan, and then from there load it into a preheated 375F oven to bake for 40 to 50 minutes. As this bakes, it's really cool to see all the water in those little flecks of butter turn to steam and puff this pastry. That's a literal visual representation of flakiness being created. Halfway through, I'll come back and turn this 180 to ensure even baking, then another 20 to 25 minutes of baking until the apples are tender and roasted and the crust is a medium golden brown. After 45 minutes in total, when I pull this out, you can see this really looks like something that you want to be a part of. It's beautifully round, it's well baked, and the apples are looking really delicious. The crust is perfectly cooked and garnished with crunchy raw sugar. And the flaky salt survived too. I can't wait to crunch on that. My favorite part is the crust that's full of gooey, tender apples. It's going to be an amazing bite. Now to serve this, I'll drop this still warm galette into a bowl and then top it with some well-softened vanilla.
Yo, what up, Dragano? How you doing?
Sauciness. And for all intents and purposes, this is pie. But it's probably better because it
Wrong,
has a
but
higher
thanks, I
crust to
guess.
filling ratio than pie, which for me
Nerd.
is very desirable. This galette, on the other hand, is buttery, flaky, gooey, and best of all, very easy to make. Anyone can do it, and I really hope you try it soon. Let's eat this thing.
I mean, he says anyone can do it, but there are a lot of people that literally cannot cook for one reason or another. So, Alright, how are you? I'm doing alright, Yo, what up, Jacko? How you doing? How's the Jack today? The Jack of the O. Garlic cheese, butter potato, let's go. Oh my goodness. Hell yeah, let's go. Sticks taters. Why is it so loud? Because it's ASMR, that's why. Oh, with the checkerboard pattern. Cut the bottom in checkerboard pattern too. We're gonna cut thunder into a checkerboard pattern. Got it.
What?
What? Huh?
The fuck?
Is that a subby puppy thunder I spy? It is.
Yes, it is I. The thunder.
80 grams of melted butter. Okay. Five tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. Tablespoon of minced garlic. 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. Okay. Teaspoon of salt. Pepper. It's probably like half a teaspoon. And mix it all up. And add an additional tablespoon of Parmesan cheese after mixing. Oh, okay. Silicon sheet. Line up. Apply the butter cheese mixture on the potatoes. Keeps through the slits of the butter. Flip it over. Do it on the other side, I'm guessing. It's like, cute, 12 turtles.
Don't leave those poor potatoes alone. What the
Apply
fuck?
the mixture on the other side. Oh. You can cut the potatoes thinner. It is also yummy. Oh. Oh my goodness. Keep it in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes. Take it out when it's not too hot. Oh.
Don't tell me what to do.
Potatoes are cooked about 85%. Flip them over. Bake 10 more minutes in the preheated oven. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh. Outside is crispy and inside is soft. Yummy. Smell of garlic cheese butter is fantastic. Oh, I believe it. Hell yeah. It's beautiful. Easy to cook, very yummy. Just like thunder.
Sup, nerd? Fucking bitch.
Stop spanking the spuds, what the fuck? That's just something that Haru does. Cooking Haru likes to spank.
For all of you who are familiar with my
They're a
cooking
spanker.
style, you know at this point I am not a huge stickler for authenticity in the kitchen. Honestly, growing up in the U.S.,
Three
all
classic
of the best
New
food
York
has immigrated from
pastas
overseas
may
and
offend
somehow
Italians.
morphed into
More
an
like
Americanized
Will.
version of itself, which brings me to my guest today.
Even
Jim from
Italians
Mississippi
offend
Pizza
Italians.
actually lives right here in Long Island, and his food is
I know
the
that
best
guy.
example of what
I've
happens
seen
when
some
you
of
mix
his stuff.
Italian food culture with New York food culture. And a little spoiler alert, we are going to be
I like to
making
spank
three
too, but not my
incredibly tasty
food.
pastas today,
Oh.
and in the process, I am guessing
Dude.
we will offend or somehow piss off some Italians out there.
Right, Jim in the house.
I mean, you're gonna piss people off regardless.
Yes. How long have you been doing YouTube?
I've been doing YouTube for exactly 3 years. Where I started, I got no traction at all until roughly 1 year ago. So 1 year ago, I only had 19,000 subs. By the time this is published, I'll have 500,000 subs. So my past life was I traded stock market, Wall Street, 14 years from roughly 1999 to 2013, 2014 timeframe. Great time, very exciting. I did very well early on in my career. I was able to buy a house when I was 23 years old. Lived in Manhattan. My computers, everything set up at my house for trading. I phased out of it a little bit just simply because my kids were born and I didn't like ups and downs. I had a food website, food blog. I wasn't getting much traction. I thought that I did have enough knowledge of cooking, especially the understanding of like the typical New York Italian food
Domino's?
that is very different than Italian.
I mean, a lot of people hate Domino's. I don't know why.
St. Louis. It's its own beast.
It's perfectly
So I felt
serviceable
like,
food.
Let's go with it. Let's talk about something that I know.
What are we starting off with?
Okay, so the first one that we're going to do is piselli, right? Am I right? Is that the one we're starting off with? Okay, I'm just making sure, Mike. Pasta piselli is the easiest dish, guys. You can make it a little bit more difficult if you want, or more involved. You can do a red version with tomato paste or tomatoes. We're just gonna do the kind of the standard one that most people probably will recognize. I'm gonna do it super basic, and it's kind of comfort food. You can make this for a couple dollars.
That's
and
fair,
you can feed the
Dragano.
whole family. So the first thing we're gonna do is bring a large.
Generally,
pot
when
of
we
water to boil.
order out
Heat
for
up a
pizza,
large
we get
stainless steel
Domino's
pan
because it's
or
the
Dutch
closest.
oven. Heat that to medium heat. While that's heating up, dice 1 medium onion. The
Cheaper to
sweet
go
onion
pick it
and
up
the
than it
sweet
is to get it
combination
delivered.
is really good together. In fact, I am going to use
That's
a
why.
half more onion.
Oh, okay.
This is hot now. We're going to put the oil in. Just going to coat the bottom, and then we'll get the onions right in. This is low here. We don't need it to be high. We don't want to put any color on the onions. We just want to make them soft. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of this sea salt. So we're going to use these small shells here. These small shells are nice. The peas kind of like will go inside of it. You could even use a medium shell, but you just want a small pasta. This said 8 minutes on the box for al dente.
Oh man, when I was in college, I had Hungry Howie's like
We're gonna finish this in
all
the
the
pea and
time.
onion mixture, and we're doing that for a reason.
That shit was
It's
so
gonna
good.
absorb the flavors of
I'd always
the
get a
peas and the
bacon
onion
pizza
much more
with,
than if you
like,
cook this fully. A lot of times people
I think it was garlic parmesan for the crust.
Pasta straight in, and then they'll use
Something like
water
that.
the whole time. This is
Oh,
kind of
it's
just
so
speeds
good.
it up a little bit. If you're gonna eat this now, you want to just do it this way. It's the best way. So in the 4 minutes that it takes to cook the pasta, we're gonna just continue to saute these
fair enough,
onions.
Dragano.
They're gonna get nice and sweet. Let them cook a few more minutes before you put the peas in. This is about halfway cooked. I'm just gonna stick it right there. We're gonna put the peas in to the onions because these onions are looking nice and translucent and soft. These peas are
pasta?
frozen. They've been sitting out for a couple hours. So
Well,
you're just
that's-
gonna have to let them get defrosted
I mean,
for a
they
minute before
literally
you add
said
this
it will
in.
piss
Turn
off
up the heat
Italians.
just a tiny bit more now. The onions
I'm not
won't burn at
well,
this
I
point.
am part
A lot of
Italian,
comments
but
will
like
probably,
I'm
if you've
also
had this,
part
say,
like
my mother, my grandmother used the canned
Pissed
peas,
off?
and that
a
is
lot of
very,
things.
Very common. It's very, very inexpensive, and you know,
I have
people
so many
use.
nationalities
You
in
put a
my
little pepper in
blood,
now, but we're gonna
dude.
put in more
Like,
later.
holy shit.
Okay, so I'm gonna take some pasta
Mostly
water to start,
European,
guys. Doesn't have to be an
unsurprisingly.
exact amount. We're gonna cook this now at exactly a medium heat. At this point now, we can start getting our pasta in. Now we're gonna bring it everything together. As it's cooking, you
Okay.
need to taste your pasta because you want to cook it just till al dente. You don't want to overcook this. This is a block of that pecorino romano, and we're gonna put it on some
okay.
right now. It'll
All right,
stiffen
this
up
is
a little
looking
bit. We'll
fine.
add a little bit more pasta water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that many peas, but aside from that, it's looking all right.
The noodles are al dente, which I like.
Yeah.
Because I'm always pushing like that creamy, but this is a little soupy.
Yeah, it's soupy, and a lot of
I
people
like that.
a lot of people like it completely soup.
I can imagine this dish evolved as a
It's
great
souped
dish
up.
that everyone in
Yeah.
the family, like the
I see
little
what you did
kids
there.
would
Absolutely.
eat. Like I could see my daughter being really into this because it's refined, but it's also really simple. This is nice.
And you can customize it. You can add a ton of cheese right now, hot red pepper if you want, garlic,
Fried
of
pizza
course,
with
which I know a lot
garlic
of people are
butter
going to want the
crust.
garlic.
Ooh.
It's simple. It's really
Ooh,
simple.
good
It
stuff.
seems like one of those sort of depression style
Definitely.
dishes, but
Definitely.
that just became a thing because it was also good.
Yeah.
I love this little like soup at the bottom. It's so good. Awesome.
All right, trip to the garden for, what is this next pasta dish?
Okay, so we're gonna do a spicy, creamy veggie pasta with Calabrian chili paste.
Okay.
The one I do has mushrooms, but we don't have mushrooms today, so we're gonna see what we have.
See what we have in store. If you want to pick some fennel and take it home with you, I've got a bunch.
Yeah, no, that would be great. I mean, I love fennel.
Yeah, this needs to be picked. It's ready to go.
So this whole thing will come out?
Yeah, just go for it.
Wow, nice.
Bam.
Awesome, thank you.
Things we can get for this next one. I've got some eggplant. I also have a few zucchinis.
We can use both. I mean,
okay, let's use both then.
I think that's a great idea. Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Zucchinis are basically done, but I might have like 1 or 2 left.
Oh, we
As long as they're made in the right
We'll hit the
way,
basil.
I'll have eggplant or zucchini, but
I see
I
one.
mean, they
Some
both
of
kind of
last
take the
zucchini
taste of
this
what you
season.
cook them with.
All right, that's a good harvest. Need
Yeah.
anything else? We're good.
I think this will be fine.
Back to the kitchen.
All right, so we're gonna make a spicy Calabrian veggie pasta with a cream sauce. People from Italy, if you put cream in anything, they want to kill you. Truly.
How much of your channel is just
Why?
defending Italian?
I embrace it. You know, I don't think anybody from America
I mean,
who's lived here
like
for
I
a
said,
long time is
Italians
going to be an
just
authority
argue
on
amongst
Italian food. If
Italians
you want
about
good
food.
Italian food,
That's
I would go
fair.
to a website written in Italian and I would use Google Translate.
Pasta piselli.
A lot of people outside of the New York.
I know that people like to uphold traditional styles, right? But there's so much food culture.
Yeah,
like,
no, but
there's so much food in general. You're missing out so much if you just stick with the same kind of food.
It's the Italians. Just don't
That's-
worry
that's-
too much about it.
I feel like that's not an excuse. I feel like they're too set in their ways if they're gonna just shit on people for trying new things.
Well, yeah.
That's stupid. Move with the
Yeah,
times.
That's why
Move
it's
with
a
the
fucking.
times.
That's why it's a meme. To fucking just shit on
SMH.
Italians and their food taste because they refuse to fucking change, and it's great.
Yes, a lot of the times, traditional Italian food is going to be fucking great. It's going to be amazing. But food is evolving. Food culture is evolving. How people make their food, how they present it, it's evolving. It's ever changing. You can't always be stuck in the past, my dudes. Get with the times. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm just going to make this the traditional way, think to yourself, how can I make this better? How can I build off of this? How can I make something new that people will enjoy based on tradition, right? How do you think people got their traditional foods in the first place? Trying out different things. When you set your mind to only do one specific thing, like in cooking, then you just never improve. If you're always doing the same thing, you're never going to improve. And that's such a shame. You can do so much better. Experiment. Sure, you're going to make a lot of abominations along the way, but you're also going to discover some wonderful, beautiful new choices. So experiment. The Italians and the French will shit on anyone who makes even a slight alteration to their dishes. I just don't understand that. Because, on one hand, I understand upholding tradition, yes? But, on the other hand, we can't afford to uphold a tradition. We just can't afford it. Literally. We don't make enough money to uphold tradition. If we were to always make traditional style food, in any type of food, Italian, German, whatever, any specific type of food, if we were to only have that type of food, we would be out of money very quickly because they have very specific ingredients. So, I feel like those that argue about, like you say, about, French and Italian traditional foods, don't change it, they're the ones that can afford to keep doing it the same way. But at the same time, in doing it the same way, they're stagnating. They'll never get anything new. And they'll suffer for it. They will suffer for it. Everyone should enjoy tasty food. Come on. Come on. Stop being so set in your ways. Get with the times. Like when someone I know made chocolate croissants using a 50-50 mix of flour and cornmeal, he got shit on hard on Facebook. I mean, to be fair, cornmeal for croissants just sounds weird. It would have a very corny taste. Especially with, chocolate as well. That just doesn't sound good. I can't think of any desserts that use cornmeal. Can you think of any, Thunder?
You think I know ingredients of food? I just eat it.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't bake or do pastry things.
He was experimenting a bit, since he does do cornbread with a bit of dark chocolate mixed in. I mean, it's worth a try, but like, I don't feel like that would be very good. I don't feel like that would be very good at all. Because cornmeal, just like corn, has a very particular strong flavor. Like if it's got corn in it or cornmeal, you'll know. And that's much more preferable for like something savory. Not so much with
sweet
like
and savory
chocolate.
go well together.
What was that?
Sweet and savory go well together.
It depends. It depends. It really does depend. Anyways.
York, New Jersey, that kind of part of America, they associate it with the Olive Garden. Then they come here and they go to Carbone, you know, they go to Via Carota. But they go to places like that and they're like, wow, this is not the Olive Garden. And you haven't lived in Long Island your whole life, but you see the Italian influence. I mean,
yeah, but the reason behind that is because everything, like the vast majority of the restaurants that you go to in America are Americanized. They're made specifically for the general public to easily consume. Like, you go to a Chinese restaurant, like a Chinese buffet or whatever, it tastes nothing like actual, real Chinese food. It's made specifically for the American palate. That's why if you go to a Chinese buffet, you'll also see specifically American things as well. Like, they also serve, like, little pizzas and French fries, for example, and onion rings. Because that's just something that Americans like to consume, right? They make more money that way. Because, like, you don't always just want the same type of food when you're going to a buffet. You have to have, like, a variety. Go to somewhere like Golden Corral, for example. They'll have this big variety of different foods. They'll have your Italian, Mexican, have like steak, have a bunch of different stuff. Fried chicken? Like, come on. Variety is key in buffets. But if you're going to a restaurant and they don't have at least a little bit of variety, they're going to suffer for it. Go to somewhere like Applebee's. If they didn't have all the different variety in Applebee's, they wouldn't be nearly as successful. My favorite item at Applebee's is the quesadilla burger. It's like this sort of fusion between Mexican and American food. Because it's like a quesadilla, but it has a burger in it. Right? That's delicious. I fucking love it. They also have burgers, they have salads, they have fish, they have chicken, all these different things. Great variety. You go to somewhere like Olive Garden, though, even though it has more variety, it's still, the majority is just like pastas. Pastas and like, more pastas. Pastas and soups. That's what Olive Garden is. That's my experience with Olive Garden. Just pastas and soups. Granted, they have like a
breadsticks.
Well, yeah, they do have breadsticks, but also like they have this like special thing that's like endless pasta. Like you choose a type of pasta or like a couple types of pasta from their selection. There's like 4 different ones to choose from, and you can have as much as you want. Basically, you just pay the price. You get a bowl of it. You finish the bowl. Be like, hey, give me more, and they give you more. Right? They also have soup. Endless soup. You either do pasta or soup. And you also get the breadsticks. Breadsticks are just free. Yeah. They're like the appetizers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. Yeah, I heard Olive Garden when they do the endless pasta. The only time I've ever gotten the endless pasta, they had this like ricotta cheese pasta with red sauce, and as delicious as it was, when I have a lot of ricotta cheese, it makes me feel sick. Like, specifically. I don't know if it's because it's so rich or because of, like, the increased milk content. Because, like, I don't know. I just don't know. Good example, there's a Korean restaurant in my town that has Americanized dishes on its main menu, but has a secondary menu people can ask for that has nothing but true traditional dishes. Oh shit, that sounds pretty cool. Very nice. Very nice. And almost nobody except for some of the local Koreans ever asked for the secondary menu? Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. I would love to have some bulgogi. Or some, tteokbokki. That'd be pretty fucking good. I haven't actually had, like, traditional Korean food. I've only, like... I've had, like, gochujang. And that's about it. Like, I would love to try traditional Korean food.
I still have to go to that Korean barbecue place I saw.
Do it!
Opened up. I need someone to go with, and anytime I bring it up, they're like, soon, and they never said when.
Get Lucy to go with you.
She doesn't like sushi, which is also served there.
Well, she doesn't have to get sushi. She could get, like, Korean fried chicken.
That is a thing, you're right.
Yeah. It should be, like, sweet and spicy. Because it uses gochujang, which is sweet and spicy. Also, bibimbap is pretty good. Oh. That sounds pretty good. I haven't had bibimbap before.
What am I hearing?
You're hearing sounds that may or may not be words. What else you guess?
It's crazy.
It's when neighbors
So first we're going to
never
prep the vegetables from the garden. I have
Neighbors,
zucchini
oh my
here.
god.
Flowers are great for frying. I'm going to set them off to the side because we're not going to use them in this dish. I'm going to chop that zucchini into bite-sized pieces. Then I'm going to follow that up with chopping the eggplant into bite-sized pieces. I'm not peeling the eggplant skin. Feel free to do it if you like. Take those veggies, pop them in a bowl off to the side.
Eggplant
and
skin
then
is very
slice some
rubbery.
Garlic cloves. Now we're going to get our water up to a boil, and then I'm going to get my stainless steel pan preheated to about medium heat. So I'm going to use grapeseed oil here because I might need to kick the
Nice
heat up a
neutral
little
oil.
bit more than I
Fair.
normally would. And then I'm going to dump in my veggies and I'm going to start sauteing
Never had
them for
eggplant?
about 7 to 10 minutes to get brown on both
I'm
sides.
not a huge fan of
You need
eggplant.
the eggplant to
I
be
understand,
cooked all the way through.
like, that people like it a lot.
We're getting there.
It doesn't
So
have a
you can
very
see, like,
strong
a lot of
flavor
color on
from
that,
what I've
but
had.
The eggplant is still
But-
a little hard. I just try, like this piece right here, gonna have to give it a couple more minutes. In the meantime, we can start boiling our pasta. This is a thick pasta right here. It's pronounced pakuri.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I never say it right. I get a
Pakuri?
lot of comments for that too.
I
Pakuri.
think I did this in a
Pakuri.
recent video. I said pacheri. Pacheri. You don't want to know my Italian accent.
Yeah, well, that's even worse than mine. We're all trying here, guys, you know? All right,
Or-
so I have about a gallon of water here.
Okay.
I'm going to do 2, maybe 3 teaspoons. I have this fine sea salt here. Get our pasta in.
Now that's going to take around 10 minutes.
This says 10 to 11 on the bag. I'm going to look at my clock right now, and at a minimum, I'm going to start testing at 9 minutes because I want to
It's a
finish
hot
it
rice
in
dish with
sauce for at
vegetables
least a
and an
minute.
egg on
Once
top,
these veggies
served in
are
a
finished,
hot
turn off your
stone
pan
bowl
right
with
now. Give it
dulse.
30 seconds. Put your garlic in there, and then I'm
normally
putting
mix in
about
some
2 to 3
gochujang.
tablespoons of
Oh,
extra virgin
very
olive oil.
nice.
After my garlic gets nice and golden, I'm going to add 1 to 2 teaspoons of Calabrian chili paste. Cook that out for about 20 seconds
Calabrian
in your
chili
garlic oil,
paste.
and then put in half a can of tomato paste. You're going
Tomato
to move that
paste.
around, fry that paste to remove any metallic
sounds like
taste
something I
and
would
to
probably enjoy.
Caramelize the flavors. So after your tomato
So one of the types of pasta that my mother tends to make a lot, just as an easy thing to do, she'll cook the pasta and add in a can of tomato paste and like half a stick of butter or something like that, and that's it. And it's fucking delicious. I don't know if it's like something traditional or like just something to have, but it's tasty. It's tasty. Highly suggest. Just try it out sometime. Just butter and tomato paste in your pasta. That's it. Simple, delicious. Maybe a little bit of salt, I don't know. But yeah,
Tomato paste has been
Very
frying
tasty.
for a few minutes. I want to add 1 ladle of pasta water here and then mix everything
Whoa.
together to basically form a tomato sauce. And then as I'm waiting for my pasta, we can add our cream to the tomato
Fettuccine,
paste, garlic,
Velveeta,
flour mixture.
and
Mix it
blackened
in, get
chicken.
it all distributed as
Occasionally
best
make
as
it.
you can.
Oh.
And then once it starts bubbling, you can back that heat down. Just keep it low while you're waiting for your pasta.
Fair enough.
All right, so here's that consistency. You can do a little taste test here. That's delicious, so spicy from the Calabrian.
I'll be the judge of that, Jim.
Spicy,
Just
yeah,
the right
right.
amount of
Yes. Okay, once your pasta is 1 minute away from
It
al
probably
dente,
has a
you can
kick,
take
but
that
it's not
pasta and
spicy.
add it to your cream sauce. And we're gonna continue to cook this until the pasta is finished. Try to get it all coated as best you can. If you had a little bit of bigger pan here, I would say start flipping it to emulsify it, but I'm not gonna do that with this thing. You wanna try? Go for it.
You're like backing away, right? I mean, like, is there anything better than just like flipping cream sauce?
That's perfect. See how much?
Wow.
See how much
That
I improved
helps.
it? Yeah, it improved. That's why flipping is done for a reason, guys.
This
Like
pan's
That looks
perfect
delicious.
for Flippy.
I'm gonna taste this.
Oh, you're tasting it. I'm just gonna scoop a noodle here.
Nom
Salt,
nom
what do you think?
nom
A little
nom.
bit, right?
Little bit.
So I'm gonna use probably a half
Nom,
a teaspoon
nom,
of
nom,
this
nom.
fine sea salt right here, but might need a little bit more. You can
Going
throw, you
in?
can throw them in too.
This is gonna be, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're gonna need some pasta water in there.
Yep. Starting to get a little too thick.
Yep.
Thin it out.
That's what she said.
You know, honestly, I think we're pretty good here.
Yeah, that's
Wait.
You know?
right. So now we rip the basil in. Off heat.
Tear it at the
Oh, yeah,
end.
yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
that.
it really is delicious. It's the final thing that the dish needs. It does
Beautiful.
need it.
Okay, why don't we plate this up?
Yep.
All right, go for it.
All right.
Plate it up.
So fresh. That's nice.
Nom,
Just
nom,
the
nom.
right amount of heat. It's subtle.
Yeah, and you got to be
Nom,
careful with
nom,
the brands.
nom.
Certain brands are way spicier, so they might be adding something else to them. So just test it out, you know, when you get it.
Cream is not
It's a
like
big no-no.
traditional.
It's a big no-no in Italy. The cooks here in America, they know a thing or two too, and a lot of restaurants use cream.
And I have no problem with it.
Yeah,
I
right.
like it.
Sometimes you want a
Into the
creamy
final
taste.
pasta.
Sometimes you
Yes.
don't.
We're gonna
That's
do
fair
pasta
enough.
vajole or pasta vazul, and it is
Vazul?
pasta with beans. Okay, pasta and
What?
beans. And it's
Oh,
a super
pasta and
simple
beans,
dish. It
hell
can be
yeah.
Customized to your liking. I'm going to show you a pretty basic one, though my grandmother and mother make an even more basic one than this. First thing we're going to do is prep our ingredients. We're going to dice
Onion.
1 medium onion. That's a lot of onion. I wonder if I need the whole thing here.
Half an onion.
And then we're going to mince 3 garlic cloves if they're large like this, or 5 regular sized garlic cloves. Or use as many as you like. And then finally, the pancetta. I'm just going to dice it up into small
Pancetta?
pieces. All right, so we're going to
Oh.
heat this up to medium heat. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive
Gonna
oil.
fry
in
that
the
shit?
pan, and then we're going to get our pancetta.
Oh,
we're going to let this cook. It's going to
shit.
take anywhere from like 7 to 12 minutes, depending on how hot your heat is.
So while that's cooking, you're gonna strain the main element of this dish, the beans.
Yeah, the beans.
Beans.
So I have 3 cans right here, which is equal to about 1 bag of beans. A bag of beans is 1 pound. Grandmas will just use all the liquid here, and it gives more starch, but I tend to just drain them. And we'll do it for the other 2 cans, and we'll just leave these off.
Yeah, I always drain my
Couple more
beans as
minutes.
well.
Some of these really big fatty pieces, you know, they need to break down more. All right, so the pancetta has rendered enough of its fat. You can see there's a lot more liquid, which is fat in the pan. We're gonna put our onion in now. The garlic will come in after. If we
Onion.
put them both in at the same time, it might burn the garlic. This is the better order to do it. If you want to put in hot chili flakes, you would put them in probably after the same time as the garlic.
How do you feel about a little bit of this dried chili?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So we're gonna
Hell
cook these
yeah.
onions for about 5 minutes. So you can see the onions are nice and soft. Put our garlic in and let that go
Garlic.
for a couple more minutes. This is way too much heat, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of it. Just chop it up. I
Too
don't know
much
the
heat? Are
level
you
of this,
scared?
so-
Oh my
All right,
god,
so
he
I'm
is
gonna
such
put
a
in the
whiz.
beans. I have the 3 cans that we drained.
Too
I'm gonna
much
put in
heat
6
from
cups of
one
water, and then I have
chili?
this little
Are
can of
you
tomatoes, just
serious,
3
my dude?
tomatoes. I'll try to fish them out here. Right there, that's enough tomatoes. I'm just
Power.
gonna break them up a little bit with my hand.
Embrace the spice.
Yeah, so we're
The
very
spice
close to,
must
like, a
flow.
Bianco pasta vazul, so we're just putting on a little bit of red here. So we want to bring this to a boil. Also, the one
Come
last
on,
thing
my
I have
dude.
is rosemary. I'm going to put in 1 sprig. If you don't like rosemary, do not put this in. Even this little bit will really flavor it, and I think it's a delicious accompaniment to the
One
pasta vazul. My
sprig.
grandmother and mother never used rosemary.
And Jim, this is straight up, I mean, it looks like a soup.
Yes.
So would you consider this a soup or a pasta?
So it's both. Some people like it soupy.
soup
If
pasta.
you mash your beans completely, you can make it very thick. If you don't mash them at all,
A
and you put
soupsta.
more liquid, it can be very much a soup. So I'm gonna bring this to a boil and let it boil for 5 minutes before we move
Where's
on to
the
next
pasta
step.
part?
And the one last thing that I forgot is the Parmigiano Reggiano rind. You want to do this? You can buy these in the stores, guys. A lot of places.
I wasn't
are doing
paying
this
attention.
now.
I don't know where the
Because
pasta
I
went.
hear you do this in your videos. I haven't brought
You got
my
it. Yeah.
Parmesan
You got
rind.
it.
I didn't know if
Yes.
you would remember.
Yes, you got it. Once you get them though, and if you buy a lot of
Oh.
Parmesan cheese, freeze them and they will last forever. I put them in everything. everything.
This is a serious boil, right?
Yeah, we're boiling it for 5 minutes. This is just going to speed up the process. You can even turn it off at this point, which is probably the right thing to do. You can use an immersion blender, which we have right here.
Where is the
or
pasta?
you can just take a wooden spoon and just
Why
mash
is the
those
pasta
beans
This is
right
supposed to
inside
be
of the
called
pot
a
like
pasta,
this.
right?
As you mash them, they just turn into
mush.
Turn into mush.
Can I go in now?
Go for it.
Little zibba zabba. Yep. And how much?
I wouldn't go overboard.
Okay. I don't want to get that Parmesan rind.
And I think you're good there. Yeah, I like to have a little bit of texture left, like so you actually see some of the beans. So now I'm just gonna turn my heat back on to medium heat.
But like,
to cook
where's-
our pasta.
I
Where does
assume
the
it's going
pasta
to
come?
put in
Oh,
the
there it
There
is.
we go.
Tortellini, or this is DiCecco's brand, so it's called tubetti, but they're essentially just a really small pasta.
Tubetti is an easier way to
Yeah.
understand what this
Yeah.
is. Are we going in
Yeah,
now?
let's
Betty.
do it.
All of it.
Yep. And now you have 6 cups of liquid in here, and you have the 3 cans of beans. You're gonna have to stir this the whole time, and since we're not at a roaring boil here, it's gonna take a little bit longer to cook this pasta. Pasta's gonna absorb all the delicious bean, garlic, rosemary, pancetta fat, everything. We're gonna just keep stirring it. You're gonna have to add liquid most likely once it starts absorbing, but you gotta keep watching it the whole time. Once this pasta starts getting bigger, you'll see it all come together. Okay, so the pasta is done. I've been tasting it like every minute, so I'm gonna turn off the heat here. You can fish out your Parmesan rind, and then you can also take out that rosemary stem. Before you serve it here, you gotta season this up with salt and pepper to taste.
Oh.
I imagine you wouldn't see this on many menus.
No, you want it. Actually do see it in delis. You'll see it in a lot of delis in Long Island.
Delis?
Definitely in pizzerias.
But this is like a true grandma dish.
Yeah, for sure.
This is one of the more interesting because it is like very much in the middle of pasta and soup.
Absolutely, and I always like to go like this. I mean, it looks awesome for the thumbnail, but like, look at how good that looks. You know. It's just so simple, you know?
Yeah. You get this sort of umami like kick from the Parmesan rind and the pancetta. It has a pretty intense depth of flavor throughout. You just taste it and you're like, there's some tradition there. Yeah. I can taste your grandmother's cooking in this pasta dish right here.
It's such a simple dish. I didn't like this dish growing up because my mother and my grandmother made it so much.
No, you.
I like pushed away from it, and then I got a place on my own, and I'm like, I need to make pasta vazul again.
I can't say I have that feeling with the things my mom made.
So you like the things, or you don't?
Don't like them. Still haven't come back.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of like
but, you know,
traditional dishes around here.
Every dish today, you can taste the history, the tradition, specifically to you. This is an authentic Italian.
Yeah,
in my family, rather.
Your Italian, your Long Island, New
like
York
in
Italian.
terms of like traditional dishes. The only thing that I even talked about was the like pasta with tomato paste and butter. That's the only thing I could even consider as like a traditional family dish. 'Cause that's what my mother would make. Like aside from that, she just like adjusts to what we have. Right? Like a good cook would. Thanks, video. Now I crave mac and cheese. Ooh. Let's see about like a loaded mac and cheese. Loaded mac and cheese. Oh, look at that. That shit's got bacon in it. Oh, but look at the cheese on that. Holy shit. Ooh. A mac and cheese bake? Jack, which one? Choose for us. 1, 2, or 3. Or I guess 4 is also an option. It's another bake. Choose. 1, 2, 3, or 4. The one without meat? I think that's these two. I don't think these two have meat. This one most definitely doesn't have meat. Basics with Babish. Number 3. Alright. Babish, let's go.
No.
2-year-old video, let's go.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Episode 72. Mac and cheese.
Basics with Babish and my website, basicswithbabish.com.
Oh my goodness, his audio is so good.
By Squarespace. Head there now to check out all of the recipes from the show, kitchen equipment
Love
lists,
this dude's
and
fits,
more.
yeah.
Get 10% off your first Squarespace order by visiting squarespace.com/babish. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Alright, so the first thing we gotta talk about when we talk about mac and cheese is the cheese. You've probably heard a lot of foodie types like me say not to use pre-shredded cheese. And that's because, as you can see, it's coated in anti-clumping agents like potato starch, which, when subjected to a mac and cheese-like environment, can cause some problems. Here you can see I'm making the exact same mac and cheese recipe, one using pre-shredded cheddar, the other using post-shredded, or, you know, the kind you shred yourself. Let's see if we can spot the difference. Even if you're watching this on the silliest of cell phones, I'm sure that you can see that the one on the right made from pre-shredded cheese is a bit of a clumper. So just like virtually every recipe under the sun, but for mac and cheese especially, it's just better if you shred your own. So now let's talk methods, starting with the easiest and ending
oh my god,
the easiest. The simplest
these
recipe
subtitles are
that I could find
what?
was combining 1 1/2 cups of whole milk with 1 cup of
I'll
water
just turn
in
those
a
off
medium
then.
saucepan. Then we're going to cook the pasta directly in this milk and water mixture, maybe about 1 minute shy of where you want it to end up. A bunch of the liquid is going to get absorbed, and the rest of it is going to be imbued with starch from the cooking pasta. These starches are what's going to help give us a relatively smooth sauce once we add the cheese, of which we're going to add 8 ounces shredded cheddar. Before we add the cheese, we are killing the heat, otherwise you're going to end up with an oily, grainy mess. We're then stirring it until it's just distributed throughout the pasta, covering and letting rest for 5 minutes. After which point you shall return and discover what looks like a cheesy masterpiece, but it is a fleeting one. Because you see, your first few bites might be okay, but as it approaches room temperature, it's going to turn into a brick. Let's see what happens when we let this guy sit around for 5 minutes. Coming back to my bowl, boy, I sure am hungry. Oh, that's disappointing. The starch in the pasta water helps make for a relatively creamy sauce, but we need more to emulsify and stabilize this cheese sauce. It's during times like these that we turn to food scientist wizard gods like America's Test Kitchen and J. Kenji Lopez Alt. To start, America's Test Kitchen calls for the same initial formula. 1.5 cups of milk, cup of water, bring to a boil, cook the pasta in it. Wait till the pasta is almost done, reduce the heat, and then we're going to add a few flavorings, starting with a titillating teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a salacious sprinkle of cayenne pepper, and 4 flirty ounces of grated American cheese. Doesn't sound great, but this is what's going to stabilize our sauce. Just mix that in.
Because American cheese isn't real cheese.
Freshly ground salt and kosher pepper, and then once the American is all melted, we're going to add 4 ounces of grated extra sharp cheddar. Kill the heat entirely, mix it until it is dispersed throughout the pasta, cover and let it rest for 5 minutes. This, like last time, is going to gently melt the cheddar so it doesn't break and turn all greasy and grainy. Give it a stir and watch it transform into the gooey, stretchy stuff of your dreams. You can definitely serve this all on its own, or you could toast up some panko breadcrumbs and some butter. Because you know it's even better than mac and cheese? Mac and cheese with fried bread on top. And I've made this before on binging. It is an excellent, economical, and extremely easy way to make mac and cheese in a flash. But how does it hold up to the let it sit there for 5 minutes test? Let's find out, and the answer is not bad at all. A little solidified, that's to be expected, but it's not the cat litter level of clump that we were experiencing before. So now let's try out the brainchild of my personal hero, J. Kenji Lopez Alt. He recommends covering 6 ounces of pasta with just enough cold water to submerge, bringing that to a boil, and allowing to simmer until most of the water is absorbed and the pasta is fully cooked. Then the mad scientist decrees that we pour 6 ounces of evaporated milk over top, bringing that to a simmer, and then once it's at a bare bubble, adding 6 ounces of the shredded cheese of your choice. So long as it's a pretty good melter and not too aged like Parmesan, it's going to work fine. Cook that over low to no heat until the cheese is completely melted and the sauce has thickened. Add some optional Dijon mustard and cayenne pepper, always a good idea in mac and cheese. And this creates a pasta and cheese dish that rivals Velveeta in its sustained creaminess. But it tastes like it's made completely from scratch, both because it is and because it uses real cheese. So if you ask me, the madman has done it again. This takes the cake for fastest, easiest, cheesiest, and creamiest. And it stays that way even when subjected to the let it sit there for 5 minutes test. It shows little to no signs of the dreaded cheese coagulation.
Yo!
So that's the fast and easy stovetop stuff. Let's move on to the real deal,
Nice.
for which we're going to need a melange of cheeses. As you can see, I've got a good selection
That's a
of
lot of
effective
cheese.
melters and heavy flavor hitters. Starting on my left to your right with maybe the most flavorful, we have some 24-month aged Parmesan, some Gruyere that features great flavor and meltability, likewise with some sharp white cheddar, then something like Fontina or Raclette, which is getting on the softer side of things, and some low moisture, full fat mozzarella that is pretty much just here for the stretch factor. I'm shredding all of these on the large holes of a box grater and cubing the mozzarella because I want big old chunks of it dispersed throughout my mac. Now you definitely don't have to be this fussy with all the cheeses, you just want about 1.5 pounds all told. Then over on the stovetop we're accomplishing two things. We're cooking the pasta of our choice. I'm going with 1 pound of shells.
That's a lot
then
of
in
pasta.
a very large saucepan or fry pan we are making a bechamel. And first I'm going to show you how to do it the wrong way, which is something I totally meant to do. I wanted to show you the wrong way to do it. That's why I did it. It's not because I totally screwed it up on camera. That'd be crazy. So once we've melted a 1/4 cup of butter, what we don't want to do is immediately add a 1/4 cup of flour. That's because butter is loaded with water as much as possible, of which we want to evaporate before adding the flour. So once we've added the flour, we want to whisk that together with the butter and cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes until the raw flour smell dissipates. We don't want the roux to darken. We're trying to make as light a roux as possible, aka a blonde roux, before adding our milk. 4 cups of cold whole milk that we don't want to add too fast, otherwise our roux is going to clump. Now at this point you might be asking yourself, why am I allowed to make a cooking show for millions of people? That's because frequently on this show I'm learning right along with you, so let's start over and do it the right way this time. First we're going to melt the butter and cook it over medium heat for 2 to 3 minutes until it stops spattering, the stage just before browning when most of the moisture has been driven off. Make sure you swirl it regularly, otherwise it might explode, and once it stops making loud popping noises, it's ready to go. Add your equal part or 1/2 cup of flour, whisking once again into a thick paste, and cooking for 2 to 3 minutes until the raw flour smell dissipates. Then we're going to add our 4 cups of refrigerator cold milk slowly and in stages. Add a cup and whisk that together until it forms an initially lumpy but eventually smooth paste. Once it's nice and smooth, add about another 1/2 cup. Whisk until that's smooth, add another 1/2 cup, so on and so forth until you've added all your milk. This will ensure that you end up with a nice, smooth, lump-free roux. Whisk that relatively constantly over medium heat until it comes to a bare simmer and reaches a consistency just thicker than that of heavy cream. And boom, you got yourself a bechamel. Now the key step to transforming this into a super smooth, not grainy cheese sauce is adding and melting the cheese off heat. So I'm combining all my cheeses except the mozzarella in a heat-proof bowl and pouring the bechamel over top through a fine mesh strainer. Folding the cheese and eventually whisking the cheese into the bechamel until it is totally melted. And with that, we have transformed our bechamel into a Mornay sauce. All it needs is a pinch of kosher salt, some freshly ground pepper, some optional cayenne, and 2 heaping tablespoons of whole grain mustard. Whisk to combine, and then it's time to let everybody get to know each other. In the casserole, first goes the pasta, then goes the sauce. I didn't come up with another rhyme, and that's really it. Give this a little stir inside the casserole to make sure that everything is dispersed, and you've pretty much got yourself an oven-ready mac and cheese, but we're not done yet. Now we're going to add our 1/2 pound of cubed mozzarella, mixed to make sure that it's evenly dispersed, and then top the whole thing with maybe another 2 to 3 ounces of grated cheddar and maybe an ounce of grated Parmesan. What do you think, folks? We got enough cheese in there? Time for this guy to head into a 375-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 45 minutes, rotating once during baking until it looks like this. But like all baked cheese and pasta dishes, we need to let it rest for 10 minutes before digging in. And as you can see, I kind of overdid it with the mozzarella cubes. They were a little bit too big, and this guy's a little bit too stretchy, but you're not going to hear me complain. This is a really good mac and cheese. It's super smooth, it's super flavorful, it's super stretchy, it's super cheesy. And to answer the question that you have, what are you doing with all this mac and cheese in quarantine, Babish? It freezes and reheats beautifully. Just let it cool off for about 30 minutes before dividing into an individual, healthy, reasonably portioned freezing vessel, or let's be real, the family size that we're going to eat all on our own, wrapped tightly in aluminum foil and freeze for up to 2 to 4 months. Now let's take a look at Southern style mac and cheese. I've got 8 ounces of cubed mozzarella, 4 ounces of cubed smoked Gouda, 8 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar, and I'll be topping the whole affair with 2 ounces of grated Parmesan. I've got 1 pound of elbow mackerel.
Alright, it's past 10 PM, so I'm gonna go lay down.
Alright, rest well, nerd.
Blink, y'all. Farewell, have a good stream. Bye bye.
12 ounces of evaporated milk. This is going to both form a nice creamy sauce and cool off the pasta enough that we can add a couple other players. First up are cubes of mozzarella and Gouda that we want to remain relatively unmelted so they form nice cheesy pockets in our final mac and cheese.
It's already beautiful.
Mix those around until they're evenly dispersed, and then once it's cool enough that you can stick your finger in it without making a scene, it's time to add the southern mac and cheese oddity, 3 large eggs. This is going to give our mac and cheese a lot of body and structure and make it a bit more casserole-like. We're whisking that around with vigor until the eggs are nice and smooth and incorporated, and we've got a real creamy situation with a few errant chunks of cheese. Now we're going to pour this guy into our awaiting casserole, smooth it out until it's nice and even. And then to really hammer home the 4 cheesedness of this mac and cheese, I'm going to grate both 4 ounces of yellow and white cheddar, mix them up real good, and sprinkle them evenly over top, along with that 2-ounce grating of Parmesan cheese that I mentioned earlier. Make sure that's spread out nice and even, and then this guy's headed into the same 375-degree Fahrenheit oven for the same 45 minutes, until it emerges looking like what you see when you close your eyes and I say mac and cheese. This guy's also being left to rest for the requisite 10 minutes before digging in. And this is the kind of mac and cheese that I want to have at my favorite local barbecue restaurant or at my favorite local barbecue. It's got nice structure, but it's still super cheesy and melty and flavorful. And that, my friends, is what I hope will be a definitive guide to how you cheese your mac. This episode and many others have been sponsored by Squarespace because
I need that in my mouth. I need it. Oh my god. Oh, need to take a break from food. Need to take a break from food. Oh my goodness. Let's get some spoops on. Let's get our spoops on. Take a break from the food for the spoops. Let's go.
Yeah.
Southern mac and cheese goes really well with
How you
pork.
doing? I'm Callan,
pork.
and this is Slack
Oh, I believe it.
Today we're looking at some mysterious things.
I
caught on
believe it,
camera.
fam.
But as always, before we dive in, remember to hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content.
Just like
this.
This video is for the people out there who think I'm making fake ghost videos. Here's my hands.
For some months now, this upload has been documenting what he believes to be an eerie
Sometimes
haunting.
even mix in the pulled pork
Over the
with
course
it.
of a half year or so, this homeowner
Now
has
that
been
sounds
experiencing
delicious.
some very strange things, like objects moving around his house for no apparent reason. Fed up with people calling his videos a hoax, the uploader aims to set the record straight once and for all. Watch what happens.
Hello? Anybody want to speak? Is anyone here? Hello? Yeah, you saw that shit, didn't you? Hello? You saw that? Yeah, explain that. Hello? Explain that.
In the clip, we see several objects move on their own.
Hello? Yeah, you saw that shit, didn't you? Hello?
Oh my god,
You
the
saw
beeps
that?
are so loud.
Yeah.
Holy
explain
shit.
that.
The uploader
Jesus
explains
Christ.
that since he bought a doll at an estate
so loud.
sale, the mysterious activity's been happening ever since. The homeowner does his best to demonstrate that
my
he's not up
ears.
to anything sneaky, hoping to prove that what we're seeing is some genuine paranormal activity.
Here's my hands. I have no strings attached to anything. That right there is a vent to my air conditioner unit for the air to come out. There's nothing attached to that. I don't know why some dude thought I was using that for a hoax.
So what do you think? Does he convince you that this isn't a hoax? Let me know in the comments down below.
Hello? Yeah, you saw that shit, didn't you? Hello? You saw that? Yeah, explain that.
Oh, the beeps. The beeps. Oh my god.
This next one is some eerie home security footage captured
Ghosts
in a
are
house in
glitch.
Malaysia. Some viewers are calling it proof that ghosts really do exist. What do you think? Take a look.
Right? Oh.
Watching that again, as the man walks out of frame, another figure becomes apparent. Looks like a transparent
Oh.
person following the other man out of the room. Due to
the
how
heck?
distinct the figure is, some viewers have suggested it's just an artifact glitch in the footage. perhaps showing a very real person from an earlier feed blended together. Here it is again, slowed down and zoomed in.
I mean, yeah, it's entirely possible that it's a glitch.
So is this just a glitch, or something a little more sinister? I'll leave that up to you to decide.
Fair enough.
Here's another homeowner that has, for some time, suspected their house might be haunted. After hearing some strange noises, this uploader has whipped out their phone to hopefully catch some of the strange activity on camera.
Very possible it could be artifacting, but generally it would be the entire image affected. Yeah. Oh.
It looks like something sits on the bed right next to the camera holder.
What?
You can see the mattress compress a little as though someone or something has just sat down.
I feel like this type of video is one of the hardest types
this is
to
one of
fake.
those tiny little clips that gets shared around and has almost no accompanying info. They appear to go viral and show something odd, but are they real? I'll throw this one out to you, the viewers, for final judgment. What do you think's going on in this strange little clip?
What?
What if a large chunk of European history never happened? What if well-known historical timelines, facts, events, and even significant people that we all studied in school never existed? Well, that's exactly what German author and historian Heribert Illig has suggested in what is now known as his infamous phantom time hypothesis. In the early 1990s, Illig proposed the controversial theory that centuries of European history had been fabricated by the ruling classes. Illig argues that there's no evidence for certain events, such as the coronation of Charlemagne, that supposedly took place in the 8th century. He claims that these and other events were invented to legitimize the power of the ruling elite. Illig hypothesizes that Pope Sylvester II, Holy Roman Emperor Otto III, and Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII retroactively fabricated a large chunk of time in order to place them at the auspicious date of 1000 AD exactly. The theory claims that a block of phantom time, 297 years to be exact, was added to the early Middle Ages so that these rulers could claim their place in history at the year 1000 AD. Illig points to a scarcity of reliable historical evidence during the period of 614 to 911 AD as proof that the ruling elite manipulated historical records for their own gain. He also notes inadequacies in the radiometric and dendrochronological methods of dating, as well as the presence of Romanesque architecture in 10th century Western Europe as possible evidence that we're living in a fabricated timeline. So could Illig's theory be true? Despite its popularity, there's very little evidence to support the phantom time hypothesis. In fact, there's plenty of evidence that disproves it. For example, numerous documents from the period have been found, including charters, coins, and pottery fragments. If the phantom time hypothesis were true, these artifacts wouldn't exist. So have you ever heard of the phantom time hypothesis? What are your thoughts on it all? I'd love to hear your take on it in the comments down below.
Weird. I will say though, the idea of the ruling class, like, fabricating history, that's something that's been observed for a long, long time. Because history is made by the winners. Like, presidents, kings, queens, whatever. If they're the ones that win, they can say whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. How much of history is erased just by people saying, oh, this happened, or this is exactly how it played out. And they're only telling their side of the story, if it's even their side of the story. So many cases of fabricated things. So this idea of a phantom timeline theory, That's entirely plausible. Entirely plausible. There are plenty of instances where we are just now discovering lost sections of history due to them being purposely wiped out from documents. Egypt and Rome were notorious for it. Yeah, exactly. And they could easily get away with it because back then, the common class, the general public, us commoners, didn't have any means of, like, knowing any better. Because we had such simple lives. We didn't have any need to know about all the other stuff going on. We're just living simple lives. Farmers and shit. Farmers and craftsmen. Most of us didn't even know how to read. Like, the ruling class could say that they're the descendants of dragons and shit like that, and people will believe it. They don't know any better. They literally don't know any better. We discovered a previously unknown Roman emperor due to finding a single coin. Oh shit. Fair enough. But yeah, that theory is entirely plausible.
This next one is a strange little bit of highway security footage captured
Haunted
in
highway?
Indonesia. As drivers make their way along the road, something odd starts to happen. Watch.
I don't know that.
Several road barriers
feel like-
begin to move, seemingly all on their own.
See how they moved in sequence like that? I
Some
feel like
viewers
that could
thought
be
they
an
were
air
simply
current.
moved by the wind, but it's important to note that these roadside barriers often weigh close to 900 pounds.
Oh.
Meaning a serious gale would have to be blowing to move them.
900 pounds? What the
Strangely,
fuck?
only 2 of them move as well, while another stays in its place.
Holy shit. Okay, that's definitely not the
Add
wind
to the
then.
mystery, there are rumours that this stretch of road is haunted. Some motorists have reported strange-looking people standing on the
theory
side of
that
the road,
people's minds
but when the
continuously jump
drivers
back
stop to ask
onto
if they
other
need
dimensions?
help, there's no
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's like branching timelines theory. Oh yeah, that's totally believable. So I have this theory that well, it's not necessarily my theory, but I theorize that timelines and realities and dimensions are constantly shifting. So this could very well not be your reality, your original reality. Like the reality that you're currently in, you may have shifted from another dimension, another version of this world. One of the strongest pieces of evidence of this is the Mandela effect. Like, the sheer amount of people affected by Mandela effects. Like, one of the biggest examples is in the 90s, there was supposedly a Sinbad movie called Shazam. And it was Sinbad as a genie, right? I personally remember it existing. Evidence points otherwise. Like, according to like the movie industry and Sinbad himself, this movie, it never existed. It never existed. That's how this current timeline is. That's how this reality is. And on one hand, it could just be like people omitting things from history, like the whole thing that we talked about just a bit earlier, like the ruling class just deleting entire sections of history because it doesn't benefit them, right? And if this Sinbad movie did really poorly, then that would mean that, like, he wouldn't want anyone to know about it, right? But the fact that no copies of this movie exist, even though it was released on, like, VHS, right? And may have been in the right time to maybe even get DVD release, Like, the fact that there are no physical copies of it, there's no posters, there's no anything about it. I don't. Oh, it was Shazam. It was the Sinbad movie where he's a genie and like there's some kids that make wishes. They People have even gone into detail over like the structure of the movie, specific scenes that they remember. Like there was one involving a pool. I don't remember if I watched the movie, but I remember it existing. And there was someone that like worked at Blockbuster or some other video store. They remember when the movie was released and they had to like put it up and all that jazz. But being told that it doesn't exist after all the shit you've been through, that's pretty sus. That's pretty sus. It's like the world is invalidating your memories. Which is another thing that could potentially be happening. There's the, as weird as it might sound, there's a theory that this world, this reality, is a simulation. Right? Which means a lot of the things in the simulation can be changed at any given time. Right? And the more that we discover in our reality, the more plausible it seems, scientifically, that a simulation is, right? One of the biggest reasons why people can consider it a simulation is because our reality, our dimension, our world, our universe, it runs under specific rules, right? If this was a world, a reality based on chaos, then we wouldn't have those rules. Because chaos means the absence of rules. Chaos means that just everything is doing its own thing. That's the realm of gods. Chaos is the realm of gods. Gods are beings that us mortals cannot understand. Because our brains work within specific sets of rules, our specific understandings. As long as we are mortal beings, we'll never understand a higher being like that. That's the whole thing. I remember seeing a VHS copy of that movie once in my house, but since have never been able to find it. Yeah, exactly. Have you ever... Alright, here's another theory of mine. Have you ever just, like, went to go into a room, and then you forgot what you were going into that room for? Right? Have any of you ever done that? Yes? No? If you have, a lot actually, well, guess what? I theorize that every time that happens, that's you shifting into a different reality. You're shifting into a different version of you. A different version of your world. The reason you forget is because you just shift. And sometimes you can never remember what you were going into that other room for. Like, you'll suddenly forget what you're doing. Or you'll suddenly, like... I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. Like, you can completely forget something that happened in your life, right? And then, next thing you know, you remember it, right? But, like, is that caused by a faulty memory? Or is that because, like, you're shifting into another reality? Who knows? Who knows? It's a lot of weird, interesting stuff. Weird, interesting stuff. I usually replicate what I just did and instantly remember it. Oh, that's fair. Fair enough. Anyways, back to the video.
One over there. So could the haunting urban legends have something to do with these moving
900-pound barriers.
Take another
What the
look
fuck?
and decide for yourself.
BRB. Okay, good luck. Damn. Something shifted the 900-pound barriers. God damn.
Before we do an update on an eerie haunting we were in.
Whoa!
A few weeks ago we featured this eerie clip from TikToker Martina Manar.
I find all of this
alleged
shit
haunting was a
incredibly
little deeper
interesting.
and darker than we first thought. Manar lives with her family in Dubai. For some months now, she's thought a very dark energy has taken up residence in their home. Disembodied screams, moving objects, and shadowy figures are just a few of the chilling details that make up the Manar family haunting. The events started getting so frequent that Manar started to document as much as she could to try and prove to the outside world that something paranormal was indeed happening. In this first one, Manar is filming a cute family update for her husband. Watch what happens.
Oh. Well.
Out of nowhere, the curtains fall down and the wardrobe door flings open.
Yeah, that looks like a haunting.
The family leaves the room in a panic. Now here's some security footage that's picked up on some more strange activity.
What? Oh shit.
Oh my god, I'm going away, I'm leaving this house, I'm going away, I'm going! Zilla!
In another clip,
Bruh.
Bernard shows the wardrobe again. This time, the door appears to be opening and closing, all on its own.
Look at the door. It's gonna be crazy. What is it? Oh no.
As if all this activity wasn't enough, the lounge room security camera catches this.
What is this? What's happening? I'm making video on the show. No.
Yeah, that's not a friendly ghost, that's for sure.
Watching that again, the door begins to bang. A few seconds later, the chair slides across the room. Then it looks like something
It's a
grabs
very
Minar's top
unfriendly
and starts
ghost.
pulling at it.
I saw this
The
footage
Kitty's
on
family
Nukes,
really be haunted.
but like, holy
Some
shit.
viewers think the footage is a little
Even
over the
seeing
top,
it again,
suggesting
it's
wires and camera
fucking
tricks are being
crazy.
used to pull in those much sought after views. This is an ongoing saga and one we'll continue to keep an eye on. As always, I'll put
I
links
don't know
for
if
you
it's
to check them
faked,
out in the description box
but
down below.
what I do know, that is freaky as shit.
If you love mysterious videos like this one,
Oh my god. Alright guys. I'm getting a bit bleh. I've got a headache and I should like get a bit of rest. By rest I mean doing something else. And like just chilling, right? Oh my goodness. That was something. Definitely something. My word. Let me see. I'm checking if there's anyone I want to raid right now. Boop doop boop boop doo doo. Nope. Nah, no raid today. Well, thank y'all for watching. I hope you guys had a great time. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you had fun. Hope you will have fun in whatever you're doing next. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye. bye, 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 bye.